He sat beside me and whispered my stop before I ever told him where I was going. I didn't understand how that was possible until the train doors closed. I take the late train home 3 nights a week. Same line, same car, same empty feeling that comes from riding public transit when most of the city is asleep. That night felt no different at first. The platform smelled like metal and damp concrete, and the overhead lights flickered just enough to make everything look slightly unreal. I boarded the train and chose a seat near the middle, close enough to other people to feel safe, but far enough to keep to myself. There were maybe 8 passengers total. A couple dozing, a woman staring out the window, a man in a hood leaning against the doors. At the last second, just before the doors closed, someone slid into the seat beside me. I felt the movement before I saw him. Mid-30s, maybe older, clean jacket, no bag. He sat too close, knees angled toward me. I shifted slightly, annoyed, and focused on my phone. That's when he spoke. "Third stop," he said quietly. I didn't respond. I assumed he was on a call or talking to himself. He leaned closer. "That's where you get off." I looked up. "What?" He smiled politely, like I'd misunderstood something obvious. "Oak Ridge Station. 3rd stop from here." My stomach tightened. Oak Ridge was my stop, but it wasn't a major one. It's not a place people guessed. "I think you've got the wrong person," I said. He shook his head slowly. "No, you always sit here. Same car, same nights." The train lurched forward. The doors sealed with a heavy hiss. I asked him how he knew my stop. He didn't answer right away. Instead, he looked around the car, as if checking who might be listening. "You don't look at the windows when we pass the tunnel," he said. "You tense up before the 2nd stop. And you check your phone right before Oak Ridge, every time." I laughed weakly. "That doesn't mean anything. It means you're getting ready to leave," he replied. The lights flickered as we entered the tunnel. The train filled with that hollow rushing sound, like air being dragged through a pipe. I felt cold, suddenly aware of how close he was. "Have you been watching me?" I asked. "Not watching," he said. "Waiting." I stood up. "I'm moving seats." He didn't stop me, didn't react at all, just said calmly, "You'll still get off at the 3rd stop." I moved closer to the doors, standing beside the hooded man. My heart was pounding now, every sense dialed up. I could feel the vibrations of the track through the soles of my shoes. At the 1st stop, 2 people got off. The stranger didn't move. At the 2nd stop, the car was almost empty. The woman by the window left. The hooded man stepped off without looking back. It was just me and the stranger now. He stood and walked toward me, unhurried. The train started moving again before I could get off. Oak Ridge was next. "You don't have to," I said, my voice shaking. "I can ride past it." He stopped a few feet away. "You won't." The overhead speaker crackled, announcing Oak Ridge Station in a distorted, sleepy voice. The lights dimmed slightly as the train slowed. "Why?" I asked. "Why are you doing this?" He looked almost disappointed. "'Cause you finally noticed." The train screeched to a halt. The doors slid open. The platform was empty. No security guard, no other passengers. Just the hum of the lights and the dark stretch of tunnel behind us. I stayed where I was. "I'm not getting off." He smiled again. "You always do." He stepped onto the platform and stood just outside the doors. He didn't reach for me, didn't threaten me, just waited. The doors began to beep. I panicked. If I stayed on, I'd be trapped with him. If I got off, I'd be alone. The doors started closing. I rushed forward at the last second and stepped onto the platform. The doors sealed behind me, cutting off the sound of the train. As it pulled away, I realized something was wrong. The stranger wasn't there. I spun around. The platform was completely empty. No footsteps, no shadows, just me. Then the speaker crackled again. "Oak Ridge Station," the voice said softly. "3rd stop. I don't take that train anymore. I drive now, even when it's inconvenient. But sometimes when I'm stopped at a red light near the tracks, I see the late train pass. And in one of the windows, there's a man sitting in my old seat, looking out, waiting for someone else to notice."